Digby Island is a pretty interesting piece of history here in the Northwest. In the early 1900s, you would have seen Casey Cove full of warehouses and blacksmith shops for the Prince Rupert Marine Station. The next bay over was the Norwegian boat building community of Dodge Cove. Within Dodge Cove was Hospital Island, built to isolate foreign and returning sailors showing any signs of illness. Fast forward to World War II. Digby supported 2 coastal defense stations and even a submarine net. 1970 brought with it the completion of the Prince Rupert Airport, because who doesn't want to add a ferry ride to their already stressful travel day? But it does give you a chance to get a glimpse at the remaining community of people still living in Dodge Cove today. Here we are, made it to Dodge Cove. Beautiful place and the sun came out. Some really interesting history here, but what I learned right away is the locals really value their privacy. So we're gonna stick to the main road, go in for just a brief look, learn a bit of history, then we'll leave them be. Kinda like dealing with a bear.
I've been a fisherman basically all my life. Dodge Cove, for instance, is more my interest. I went there in 1957 and I worked for Wall's Boatyard. Ed Walls Sr. probably went there in the 20s. He came from Norway and he built his first boat in Canada in Port Essington, and then moved to Digby. There might have been 30 households there at the very max. They had the main Walls Boatyard. They had several other little boat shops where they built boats and repaired. People, one-man shows or two-man shows. There was a lot of activity. Just about everybody was a fisherman or a part-time boat builder. They built a lot of boats. There was one time, right during the war, one year they built 50 boats. To the best of my knowledge, I think that was one of their biggest years. They had to get a bunch of cannery boats out. They needed the fish production. They had to feed the troops, and they did. They got them out. And they were extremely busy. Everything's got to be done by hand. There's no such automation, there's none. Hand planing, hand sawing. There was guys there in the shipyard over at Digby that the hammer went all day. That was the music of the shop. You know, when that hammer stopped, you wondered what's happened. It was different. It's isolated a little bit, but the people do travel back and forth in better boats. They all get there and back safely. I always said you leave the dock with a loaf of bread and it weighed 50 pounds by the time you got to your house. I mean, it got heavy. Everything got heavy. Everybody owned a wheelbarrow. That was your transportation. That was your truck, your car, your everything. We were lucky enough to be hooked up to the power system that Walls had. So I didn't have to have a generator or gas lamps or anything. We did actually have power in our house. Well, it's a great community. They've done very well. It's not a lot different now. It's just a fine bunch of people have moved in, but they're different people. Out of the family, like I say, 6 boys. They were all, well, there were 7, but 6 of them worked in the shop. And they all got to a point where they retired and various things. And the demand for wooden boats went by the wayside. More than one of the grandsons and nephews and so on are very well skilled, but the demand is is dwindling. Nobody, I don't think, in the last, I can almost say 10 years, has ordered a wooden boat right from scratch. You know, lay the keel, put the keelson on, and shape everything, get all the frames, ribs, and then plank it up. It's a lost art.
Just met a couple of locals. Absolutely delightful. There's really only one trail here. It's technically the highway, but it's a trail. We're gonna walk it as far as it goes on either end. This place is absolutely beautiful. It's a hidden paradise in here. And I love that house. I see a lot of the houses do have mailboxes. I wonder if somebody comes and delivers it out here, or if they pick it up in Rupert, maybe a local just brings it out for everyone. Not sure. I also see everyone has a golf cart. What a fun way to get around. There's just something about the way that a seaside home looks. Absolutely beautiful. Of course, brand new homes are nice too, but these old seaside houses can't beat that look. I met a gentleman down on the dock that told me about a hike you can do over here on an old boardwalk. I don't know, this is the only trail I can find, so we're gonna give it a try. I don't see a boardwalk though. There you go. Fingers crossed I don't fall through this bad Sal. Oh yeah, going into the trees tunnel. It appears that there is a house at the end of this thing. And there's no other route. I don't think we took a wrong turn because this was the only way. So I guess we'll turn around here. It's definitely private property. What a nice walk though. This boardwalk is something else. It's in really good shape because these planks are so thick. But you can see the way it lifts and sways and goes all over the place. Pretty crazy. As soon as you come out from that tree cover, the boardwalk pretty much disappears. Right there is the turnoff to get back to the dock. This is an old schoolhouse, but now it's just like a community hall. And they have this really beautiful little playground here. I don't know how far the road goes this way, but we'll follow it to the end. Would you take a look at this? I think this is a wooden basketball court. It totally is. Oh my. Wow. Look at how weathered the old wood is. Those nails are sticking way out. I'm not sure a basketball would bounce very true on here. Pretty cool though. This is all old fish net. I love that. Do you know what that would make? A really, really good dance floor. Could not ask for much nicer of a day. That one looks pretty abandoned. I have found a trail. Yeah, probably should have kept the rubber boots on. Not sure how somebody got all these big planks out here, or who brought them out here, but what a neat trail this is. This really is a super neat trail, but I can see already that it just follows the power line here, which comes out at the ocean. So I think we'll turn back here and make our way to the end of the highway. Here we go. Back on the main road. Can already see something pretty awesome. Look at this old tractor. I don't know much about old tractors. Can't tell you anything. I can tell you it's a John Deere because it says it right there. I really would have assumed that this would be a diesel engine, but I can see a spark plug, and on the opposite side in the identical spot is another one. That's fascinating. I haven't seen that before. Where can I learn something about this tractor? John Deere Model 60. Has a serial number, but it no longer exists. Curious about this thing. If anyone knows, let me know. This island has a lot of fun little mystery trails. And a fence that starts right there, has a gate right here, and ends right there. Not so sure about that. Well, there it is. The end of the road. And I can see something straight on the other side. We do not have time to check it out today. We'll be checking it out. I think this is it. Can you guys believe there's a friggin' beach garbage swing? Gotta give it a try. Yep, this is what life's all about. Gotta enjoy the little things. Places like Dodge Cove are really just good for the soul, and I loved learning some of the history from Art. But there's more to Art's story that I still want to share with you guys, so we're gonna head back for one more visit.
To be honest with you, I've always said a shipyard could build the real boat faster than I could the model. It took time, but I'm slow. If anybody paid me, they couldn't afford the boat. If you're in the fishing industry and around boats, you gotta like boats to be there. And every time a fisherman or anybody that works around boats looks at a boat, they always say, God, if I only had it this way or that way. So I decided to make some models. And another reason I really started was the whole city of Prince Rupert kind of started to ignore the fishing industry, an industry that built the town, really. So I started to make some models of tugs and fishing boats. That's what really got me started. I just started blocks of wood. None of them are perfect, and none of them are built to scale, just done. They're half right, or partially. I certainly am not a real model builder. I could never follow the directions and make it right, but I just keep plugging away and turning out some wood. It can go in the fireplace later on. It takes a little bit of time. You gotta lay it out and make some frames and cut some wood for planking and make a lot of mistakes. You know, keep doing it. I had a little steam box. I made steam. I had to steam some of the, you know, a lot of it. Yeah, you know, they didn't bend in, they'd break, or I had to steam it. Those boats were very well-known boats around here. They, during the growth of the Prince Rupert Fishermen's Co-op and the credit union, they financed 3 of those major-sized boats there. And it certainly helped our fish production incredibly. There was a period where we were a little bit behind the industry, and they built 3 boats at one time in a shipyard in North Vancouver at Matsumoto's. They meant a lot to me because I knew the people, and I happened to get a chance to run one once, and that was nice. I enjoyed that. But I had my own boat at the same time, but I wanted my son to run my boat, so I went and ran that boat. I really don't know. Like I say, I've given a half a dozen away to people of their type of boats, you know, modeled after the boat that they had. And yes, I don't know how many I've done. I didn't really start doing most of it until I quit fishing, you know what I mean. I still thought I'd be fishing in a certain sense, but you know, you just can't anymore. You can't do it. It's not because of the industry that much that I can't, but I'm not physically capable of. Well, I enjoyed doing it. I kind of felt like I had to in one way, so, you know, and yeah, it kind of became a bit of a passion. And now I guess I shake a little bit, so I'm not doing too much.
I stay very dedicated to sourcing these interviews with the locals because it gives me the chance to sit down and learn from people just like Art. In this one video, I learned about history, culture, boat building, family, and just life in general. So I want to give a great big thank you to Art for his time. And most of all, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and I'll catch you on the next one.